What if the universe has no end, neither in distance nor in time? Imagine flying for billions of years in every direction, yet there is still no edge. Each point in space repeats the last. Every galaxy resembles its neighbor. And the most unsettling part, none of us will ever truly know if there's a boundary out there. This isn't just a question about stars, it's a question about us. Can the human mind exist in a world with no limits? Today, we'll take a calm, analytical look at why space might truly be infinite, and why that thought can be more frightening than the darkness beyond the spaceship window. The word infinity sounds beautiful, almost philosophical, but physics treats it with caution. Infinity in equations often means we've reached the edge of understanding. When quantities blow up toward infinity, theory collapses. And yet, the idea of infinity has followed science since its beginning. Early models of the world imagined a finite universe, a dome of heavens with stars beyond. Then, thanks to Copernicus, Galileo, and Newton, we realized the cosmos was much larger. But no matter how we expanded it, the same question lingered. Does it end anywhere? Modern cosmology says the universe has no center and no edge. The Big Bang didn't happen in one spot from which everything exploded, it happened everywhere at once. Every galaxy moves away from every other, not because it's flying through space, but because space itself is expanding. If space expands, the obvious question follows: into what? Physics gives a simple, terrifying answer. Into nothing. There is no outside, no external arena. Only space itself exists. To our intuition, that sounds impossible. We think in boundaries and surfaces. But infinite space breaks those instincts apart. Scientists describe this using the topology of space. Without edges, there are three options: open, closed, or flat geometry. An open universe expands forever. A closed universe is like the surface of a sphere. Travel far enough in one direction, and you'll end up back where you started. A flat universe sits between them, seemingly endless but with curvature so small it's almost zero. Observations tell us our universe is flat, which means by current evidence it's most likely infinite. Everything we can see in the sky is only a microscopic droplet in an endless ocean of matter and energy. Still, we face the limit of what's observable. Our view is bounded by the speed of light. Light from the farthest galaxies simply hasn't had enough time to reach us. This sphere of visibility isn't the universe's edge, it's just all we can see after 13.8 billion years. Beyond it lies space we can't observe. We don't see the end, not because it's non-existent, but because its light hasn't arrived yet. And in that absence, our minds perceive infinity. Infinity isn't just a huge number. It's the refusal of all numbers. If space truly is infinite, then somewhere out there, the pattern of galaxies and atoms repeats. There would exist regions identical to ours, planets just like Earth, and even exact copies of you, living slight variations of the same life, not in a poetic sense, but as a physical consequence of infinity. In infinite combinations, everything must eventually recur. Even your current moment before this screen. That thought inspires not wonder but dread. Realizing you're not unique, that you're only one of infinite duplicates, challenges the meaning of identity itself. Philosophers call this the existential horror of infinity. Humans anchor meaning in finitude. Life has a beginning and an end. Journeys have goals. Every story has edges. If reality itself has none, meaning loses definition. We stand at the lip of a bottomless well, able to look down, but never see the end. In an infinite world, even our usual sense of God, fate, or morality begins to dissolve. If everything repeats endlessly, then so do all mistakes, tragedies, and wars. Physics tries to tame infinity with equations, but each time infinity appears, theory breaks. It happens with black holes, singularities of infinite density and zero size. Modern theories, quantum gravity, loop cosmology, string theory attempt to erase those infinities by suggesting that space is granular, with the smallest measurable unit. Yet on cosmic scales, the sense of endlessness still dominates. When we say everything is infinite, it sounds poetic, but psychologically, it's intolerable. The human brain can't truly imagine it. It's easier to picture an edge to the universe than the absence of an edge at all. Psychologists call this the cognitive limit of imagination. The mind searches for frames; without them, meaning collapses. That's why the fear of eternity is not weakness but a survival reflex. Even scientists feel uneasy because if the universe is infinite, we can never describe it fully. Every theory applies only to the finite patch we can observe. Absolute knowledge of the cosmos becomes impossible by definition. Humanity could live for millions of years and still remain confined within its tiny island of light. To bridge this paradox, the idea of multiverses arose. our universe as one bubble among countless others. Each bubble is finite, yet the foam they form is boundless. Science tries to reconcile the local and the infinite, but philosophically, nothing changes. We simply relocate infinity to a higher dimension. If the universe is infinite, where are we, at the center or the edge? The answer is more unsettling than either. Nowhere. Every point is equivalent. In an infinite universe, there's no center. And that might be the most disturbing truth of all. Because in a world without a center, humanity ceases to be its measure. Everything becomes statistics, probabilities, no longer purpose but pattern. Infinity frightens us not because of its size, but because it erases the sense of an endpoint. Without an end, there is no goal. It dismantles the very structure of meaning we live by. And yet, in that lies its beauty. Infinity never lets us rest. It keeps science searching, thought questioning, and humanity moving forward. Even knowing there may be no finish line, the infinity of space is not about dimensions. It's a mirror for our mortality. Standing on the shore of the cosmos, we don't gaze into endless space. We look into our own fear, the fear of never understanding everything. And perhaps this fear itself is what makes us human. The one thing that repeats again and again in an endless universe. The drive to comprehend. We are not afraid of infinity. We are afraid of never finding ourselves with